It's the music recording network. Out of the shower to the bedroom, from the bedroom to the studio, to react to the best. If your day is blown, we crank to the morn. Make sure your sub is on while we playing your song. And it's gonna be on. We rock 3 channels up here on this YouTube stream, and we always let our subscribers know that they are supreme. Hey, stand by, cause we so fly. React to the beat, cause I'm that guy to move you all night long. Why, I tell you what's happening in this song. Music make me crazy, baby, do it for me louder. Viewers know my cross keep on popping with the song. I'ma make you sweat until they turn the house lights on. After party at the Music Recording Network. What is up? What is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Check this out, man. I found the 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦. I had found the 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦, but look, I was going to do this 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦, but for some reason, the 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 is, I can't find it. So I found a new 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 and whatnot. So check this out. 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 goes off on Denzel Washington with new receipts. Denzel's son can't stand him. Denzel's son can't stand him because Denzel's son got arrested for driving a car on a daggone on a train track. So we're gonna cut the lights off and then we're gonna get on into this video, man. Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. You know what, honey, it was better with the lights on. Yeah, what you think? It's better with the lights on, y'all? I don't know. Whatever y'all want to do. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Hey, let's check this bad boy out. Here we go, y'all.
John David shoots a side eye at Denzel Washington, which suggests he holds a grudge against his dad.
Bit of truth that she turned over to the feds against Diddy and other celebrities about how she was allegedly at a Playboy Mansion party.
There is a 3rd arrest that is coming with an affidavit that I have already released. I am telling you, we know that it's coming.
So, 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 is back at it, and this time, she is bringing more receipts exposing Denzel Washington for being just as bad, or maybe even worse, than the other industry men you hear about who go to parties where they do all sorts of nasty things to young girls and boys. ally has been on a mission to call out the celebrities who used to party with Diddy, and her main concern has always been that children are being used every which way at these parties, making them eat their own vomit, forcing them to perform with animals, forcing them into satanic, ritualistic parties, you name it, 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 has seen it. According to her, Denzel loves these parties as much as the next guy. But get this, apparently, Denzel's kids found out about his secret love for these sick parties, and they're now keeping their distance from him. According to sources, Denzel's kids are this close to cutting him off completely, and they're just saving face so they don't embarrass their mother, 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦. So, Allison Carter first went viral about 3 years ago when she spilled the tea about what happened to kids at Diddy parties, but the media attention was just bad luck for her and her family. According to her, when she went viral, she and her family lost everything, including their home, and had to rebuild their lives from scratch. But she didn't let the backlash stop her, and she even tried to sue Riverside County Child Protection Services, claiming that they failed to protect her from the men who victimized her. However, they ignored her evidence.
Here, everybody is guilty. Who do you call for all these children? Start asking the right questions. Who these children? Where are they getting these kids from? When Diddy's house was being raided, the neighbor drove by and said, yeah, they bust kids in at 3 in the morning. How are they busting kids in? Where would you go to get a busload of kids?
As a survivor herself, Allie's biggest focus has always been on exposing what is being done to children at these parties, and she got the perfect opportunity to do this when the Diddy case blew up. Allie had already made an affidavit of truth where she testified that some of the celebrities she personally encountered at the parties include Brian Christopher Williams, aka Birdman, aka Baby, Denzel Hayes Washington Jr., Sean Love Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, and Josiel Amon Robinson, aka Young Jock.
Diddy was at this party? Denzel Washington was at this party? Yep. Birdman was at this party? Yes, he was. And Young Jock?
Yep.
And you're telling me Denzel was there and it was after 1 o'clock when he supposedly left?
And beanie, socks, and a gold chain.
So you're telling me Denzel Washington was butt naked, he had a beanie on, socks on, and a gold chain, and that's it, in front of children.
But Ally went deeper into painting a picture of what really goes down at the parties in more recent interviews. For example, she recently described something called body cakes at these parties. According to her, this is when kids would lie on a table and people would put food on them that the party guests could eat off of them, and kids were always in the Allegedly, after everyone had been searched and allowed into the venue, the doors were locked and there were special signals that told everyone the party was ready to begin. The kids that were brought to these parties were allegedly brought to be party favors. Sometimes they'd get placed on a wheel that the guests could spin around to select which kid they would be with that night. Once the celebrity was done with the kid, they'd return them to the wheel or table, as the case may be, for the next celebrity to have their way with them. Ally wrote in her affidavit that she was sometimes forced to be with so many celebrities in one night that she couldn't even remember all of them. There were also rituals involving animals where kids would be made to have sex with the animals, and the party guests would watch for their own pleasure. And if they ever threw up from all the disgusting things they were being forced to do, well, they just made the kids eat their vomit.
With this case, these freak-off parties, they're not freak-off parties. There's a lot that happens. There's life-size wheels that people attach children to and spin it and decide who's having what way. There are so many things. There's body cakes, there's party favors, and I'm talking like, you know how you put up a little birthday bag, like when you go to a birthday party, and before you can leave, you take one of those little birthday bags off the table, and then there's toys and like all this stuff for coming to the party. Yeah, instead of that, there's children. They call them party favors. That was somebody you could take off the table.
So you're telling me they set children?
I set children on a table.
Like when you go to a birthday party and they have gift bags for everybody that comes that have candy and toys in them, yep. And they set them on the table. So you're telling me at the freak-off parties, mm-hmm. They put children on the table instead of gift bags, mm-hmm. And then people can do what?
Take you off the table and have sex, even though it's against the rules to do certain things, like Full House. Sometimes that's against the rules. Like for me, that was against the rules, but that didn't matter.
To imagine that people like Denzel, who so many kids look up to, were at these parties is truly mind-blowing. Now, it's not clear what Denzel saw or didn't see at the parties, but we know he's been to at least some of Diddy's parties. For instance, in 2003, there were reports that Denzel stormed out of a Diddy party with his wife Pauletta after getting upset and screaming at Diddy, "You don't respect anyone." Before that altercation, Denzel and Pauletta were apparently living it up and having the time of their lives partying with Diddy. It seems like whatever happened that night eventually got resolved because Diddy and Denzel have been spotted together in public multiple times, from industry events to basketball games, and even former President Barack Obama's 2009 inauguration speech. We also know Denzel has been to Diddy's parties because Brandon T. Jackson once reported that Denzel advised him to always leave Diddy parties before the devil arrived. During an appearance on the Breaking the Machine podcast, Brandon said,
Denzel always told me we'd be at the parties. He said, "You leave 30 minutes for the devil get there." and he would say that. I will always remember that Denzel would leave the parties early. And I follow Denzel out. I'm out. You see what I'm saying? Because when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, it ain't nothing wrong with going to the parties. Even Christ party with the sinners. You know what I mean? But when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, you know, you able to have your integrity. I meant off screen. It's not what you do on screen, what you do off screen is more important. You know, I've never, ever had to sell my body for any roles. God covered me. And never have any studio head came on to me. Or you know, I know that happens in the industry. Never had that happen to me. When I got the audition for my films, I read, I prayed, I fasted.
clearly, Denzel must have seen some crazy things that made him decide to start leaving the parties early. The only question is, what did he see? But it turns out it doesn't even matter what time Denzel ended up leaving the parties because, according to sources, Denzel's freak-off lifestyle has started to catch up with him to the point where even his kids no longer want to be around him. So, for those who missed it, Denzel Washington's son Malcolm recently premiered his debut film, The Piano Lesson, where his brother John David played a leading role. Denzel and his daughter 𝗗𝗢𝗡𝗞𝗦 were also involved in the production of the film. If there's one thing we have to give Denzel credit for, it's the fact that all his kids seem to be doing well in different areas of the movie industry. But it's ironic that Denzel probably knew and maybe even participated in some of the sickening things that used to happen to other people's children at Diddy parties and did nothing to stop them. Instead, he'll leave those parties where other kids were being harmed and go home to tuck little Malcolm and John David in bed. Now, here's the twist. It looks like no matter how much Denzel tried to keep his image clean, his kids could see right through it. And word on the street is that there's a lot of tension going on behind the scenes in the Washington clan. Fans noticed that during the press runs for The Piano Lesson, Denzel's son, John David, was giving off a very negative energy, almost like he couldn't stand having to go through the whole media circus of pretending his father is this Hollywood hero when he knows what Denzel is really like behind the scenes. A lot of people pointed out the fact that John David's body language seemed off throughout the press run. For example, in this interview, it seemed weird that while Denzel was crossing his legs and appeared to be very at ease, all John could do at the back was plaster an obviously fake smile on his face. Then there's this other shot where they were all posing for family photos, and John David stood off to the side as if he wanted to be as far away from his father as possible. In contrast, fans also noticed that when John David was doing interviews alone, he was much less uptight. It's like all that weird energy he had when his father was in the room just faded into the background.
Oh yeah? Let's hear it. Let's go ahead.
Man, Willie Boy and Boy Willie.
Hey, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Willie. Mississippi. The Piano Lesson is a powerful film about the importance of family and its legacy.
Yes, sir.
What did you learn in this film that was something that was important to you about your family?
How passionate we are, even more so. I knew it before, but even more so now, how passionate we are about the art, about the craft, about my whole life. I know why I want to do this.
And to me, they're like directors like that, actor friendly. You know, they really seem to appreciate the people they hire. You know, it's almost like, yeah, I know, I did that. I picked that. Yeah, so I go ahead and run. So go ahead, you know.
This led to speculations that John David was on bad terms with his father, and he couldn't even stand to be in the same room with him. Given Denzel's history, it's not weird to imagine why his son didn't want anything to do with him. And I'm not just talking about the industry parties and whatever Denzel saw or did there. Even outside the parties, Denzel might not exactly be a candidate for Father of the Year with some of the things he's rumored to have done over the years. For example, Denzel had a serious drinking problem that affected his relationship with his wife and kids. Starting from the late 90s, Denzel started indulging in alcohol, and he had a 10,000 bottle wine cellar in his home, so he never had to run out of something to drink. At some point, it got so bad that Denzel was drinking at least 2 $4,000 bottles of wine in a day, and when his wife raised concern about his drinking problem, Denzel tried to mask it by acting like he was just a wine enthusiast. So he'd spend all this money on high-end wines and wine tastings just to hide from the fact that he was developing a serious problem that was starting to affect his life. Denzel eventually got clean, but not before he made some other terrible decisions that also affected his family, like being a serial cheater. The cheating rumors go all the way back to the 90s, but things really kicked into high gear in 2003 when there were reports of Denzel having an affair with his co-star, Sanaa Lathan. Around the time they both starred in the thriller Out of Time, there were rumors that Denzel and Sanaa tumbled out of the movie set and into the sheets. If you've seen the movie, then you'll understand why the rumors started in the first place. They could literally fry the air with their chemistry. However, things took a turn when, allegedly, Sanaa accidentally dialed somebody's line while she was in the back of a limo getting hot and sweaty with Denzel. Apparently, she had no idea this was happening, and she accidentally left a 3-minute voicemail for the person. It was also rumored that Sanaa had gotten pregnant by Denzel but had to get rid of it. Meanwhile, Denzel was allegedly telling Sanaa that he was going to leave his wife 𝗗𝗡𝗏 to be with her. But of course, he had no intention of leaving his wife, and Sanaa eventually ended the affair. There was also a rumored fling between Denzel and Eve Mendes around the same time, and she also broke things off when she realized Denzel had been messing with another woman. Fast forward to 2007, and there a report popped up saying that Denzel was spotted in Vegas at an after party for the Mayweather De La Hoya fight, getting up close and personal with a hostess. According to a source, Denzel and the aspiring actress left the club together, and they spent the night together at a private residence where the party was held. But that wasn't all. In another report, Denzel was spotted many times at Firefly in Studio City. Apparently, he has a house close to the restaurant up in the hills, and whenever he was spotted there, he was always sitting way in the back in the outside sitting area past the last bar. Each time, he has about 3 young white chicks hanging off of him. He was always talking like he was deep in thought or talking about some philosophical BS, and the girls would be staring at him in awe like he is a king or something. We can't even begin to unpack all the cheating rumors that have followed Denzel for the last 30 years. However, we have to talk about the most scandalous of them all that nearly broke the internet. That's the one where in 2013, reports of Denzel being caught in a series of compromising photos flooded the internet. Based on those reports, the photos showed Denzel sitting on a couch with a young lady, and he had his hands all over her, even pulling her in for a passionate kiss at some point. The photos were apparently being shopped on the internet, and it was so embarrassing for 𝗗𝗡 that she moved to New York while Denzel stayed in Los Angeles. This didn't break their marriage though. An insider later told Life and Style magazine that Denzel was cleaning up his act and had become the next best thing after sliced bread to 𝗗𝗡. They said he was dogged by persistent cheating rumors 20 years ago, which he denied. She never kicked him out, and Denzel has since become the model husband. Denzel was given another chance, and he ran with it. They added that Denzel can't imagine life without her, and 𝗗𝗡 is the one who supported him through his ups and downs. Denzel must ask himself what he did to deserve her. It seemed like Denzel's PR machine did its trick, and Denzel started moving past all the rumors. Well, until 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 entered the picture with new receipts showing Denzel is not the man many of his fans think he is. According to 𝗟𝗡𝗞𝗏, Denzel was not only at these parties, but he also participated in them. And she should know because Denzel personally had relations with her at one of the parties. 𝗟𝗡𝗞𝗏 even claimed that she could recognize Denzel and the other men she was forced to be with by birthmarks where regular people wouldn't know they had birthmarks. You know, like their inner thighs or butts.
I think you also told me that one of those men have a birthmark.
Left thigh.
So one of those men have a birthmark on their left thigh.
Yep.
I'll be lying if I say all this news about Denzel Washington isn't sad and frankly scary. As bad as Hollywood is, you still like to think there are some celebrities out there who are actually good people. So for someone like Denzel to be caught up in this mess, it's beyond heartbreaking. But then again, you know what they say? You can't believe everything you see on the internet. Who knows? Denzel just might be another celebrity who unfortunately just got caught up in the media storm of Diddy's investigation and arrest. But what do you guys think about all this? Do you think Denzel is just as bad as the rest of them, or is this just a media witch hunt? Share your thoughts in the comments below and stick around so you don't miss this next juicy story.
Wow, man, look here. Look. Let me tell y'all something, man. Denzel Washington, that's my favorite actor. I don't care. The Equalizer, Training Day, when he was a slave, or I don't know the name of the movie where he took them lashes and all that stuff. Denzel is the man. Now, him doing whatever he done did, and 𝗟𝗡𝗞𝗏 claiming that he did whatever, I don't know. I'm not gonna say that, she lying, but hey, if you doing some crazy stuff, here go another video, 𝗟𝗡𝗏𝗏. I'm doing 𝗟𝗡𝗏𝗏 right now. I'm looking for this 𝗟𝗡𝗏𝗏. I can't find it, but we're gonna find it, y'all. Look here, y'all let me know what y'all think. A lot of people out here believe a lot of things 𝗟𝗡𝗏𝗏 is saying. I'm not saying she lying. What I'm saying is, I still like Denzel Washington. But if Denzel Washington did some stuff he ain't had no business doing, shame on you. Especially to little kids. What you going out there and you tuck your kids in. Shame on you. Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.